Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Slate It with Daniel Caddy. I am your host, Daniel Caddy, and I am here with Jordan Alderson. Say hi, John.
Hi.
He's also a comedian, guys. Today's episode we're going over the things to know when showing up on set. So these are the things that a lot of actors make mistakes on. You might be able to name a few because you've probably seen it happen once or twice, but also there are a few things to know when showing up for the set as a crew member as well. So we can throw over to you for a couple of things for that as well.
Oh, let's get started.
All right, so top 10 mistakes. Number 10, forgetting articulation and volume is very important on set. A lot of actors will pronunciate certain words or forget how loud they are or how low they are. A lot of the time it's the sound crew. They're doing they have to do a good job of collecting your sound, because in certain scenes, especially when you're like extremely angry, you can portray that very softly. Like there's a lot of scenes out there where it's just like whispers of like "I'll kill you" kind of thing, but they're really, really soft.
It's because they usually go straight to the stereotypical version of the emotion. So to anger, they would just go rather than you can do different levels of anger. You could still portray anger, but it just doesn't look like the stereotypical type. So they sometimes make that mistake.
I guess the main mistake is just doing stage. A lot of people who go from stage to acting can sometimes make their words a lot louder because they're trying to project, when you don't really need to do that when the microphone's just above you. You just need to talk normal. But that's one of the mistakes that start off. And number 9 is assuming things. You can never assume, like when the director tells you to do something and you didn't quite get it, don't just be like, figure it out. Like ask him, like, hey, is this what you meant? Because it's much better to get clarification on something you don't understand than just winging it.
Yeah, because the director, they want their instructions to come across clear, and if it's not clear, they don't want you to just wing it, or else it's going to actually slow down time a lot more than it would if you just got them to explain it a second time.
So it's wasting time.
It's probably going to make him a bit more mad if you just guess what he or she said.
One thing I was told was repeat what they've said back to them. Like if they ask you to do something, say the exact same thing. Oh, you this, and this, and they're like, yeah. And then you kind of get a little.
It's like ordering, takeout. Like you have the drive-through, and they say this is what you ordered. They repeat it back to you. It's sort of like that. Like it's good to hear that you've understood it completely.
Because every now and then when I'm in the drive-through, they actually read it wrong. So
So even professionals get it wrong sometimes.
Okay, so number 8. Compromising your health or safety. You should never compromise your health or safety for a scene, unless it's your own film. No, don't.
No, never.
Never.
No.
A lot of actors will tell other actors it's okay to punch them for the scene. It happens. It does. I would be one to do it, but I need to learn not to. It's just because it does look so good for the shot, but it's not worth risking your health.
Not long term, especially if you want to keep making films.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never asked someone to punch me, but slapping, maybe
it's on the table.
Yeah, it's on the table. Like that's there. But let's try and leave the dangerous stunts for the stuntmen. That's what they're there for. They're professionals. They've done training for this. You are not a professional.
Unless you are.
Unless you are.
Unless you are.
you Tom Cruise or something,
Yeah. I do my own stunts. Yeah.
That's what I'll be telling everyone in the future. I do my own stunts. I do.
All right.
Anyway, so don't risk your health or your safety. It's very important to keep yourself alive for the film, especially if you're a lead actor. If you hurt yourself, that's gonna cause
But also
issues.
another thing, if you become a liability, if you continue to take risks to the point where they're telling you not to, but you keep doing it, they're gonna probably kick you because they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay out.
Yeah, unless you're Tom Cruise, because he fires his safety person.
Yeah. So unless you're as big as Tom Cruise,
And I don't
probably stick to whatever the director's telling you not to do.
and I don't think anyone on the Tom Cruise level is
Is he even
listening to it.
making films anymore?
I
He's
have
just
no
doing
idea.
Mission Impossible. That's
I
it.
think
I
so.
think that's all he's
I
doing.
think they're doing a new one at the moment.
Is there enough? I think there's enough.
I think that's enough.
Yeah, it's
They're
gone.
great,
It's gone
but
from
then-
Mission Impossible to like it's definitely possible.
It's gone from Mission Impossible to Fast X.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I hear that Vin Diesel's actually trying to bring it back to the street racing and stuff.
Oh, that'd be
You
good.
hear that?
It'd be good
Yeah.
if it goes back to the source, goes back to what it was.
Yeah, no, I hear
None of
he's
the
planning to bring The
superhero
Rock
stuff.
back as well.
Oh yeah.
I think so. Like I've seen rumors on TikTok and stuff.
Have they sorted out their?
I think so. Like
their stuff?
it was like a screen grab of Twitter. Like he'd sent out a tweet again.
I think it's
Don't
been
fact check
been
me.
long enough. I think they should sort out
Yeah.
their spit.
Make a good
yeah.
film.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, I like the new ones as well. I mean, I'm just
They're alright.
yeah.
Isn't there supposed to be a part 2 coming out?
I think so.
From the last.
I heard so. I just like the CGI stuff. Like I think that's cool, but there's no
Yeah.
really. I want the plot to come back.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
But
Alright, back to the.
yeah, if they're planning on bringing anyway, we just kind of
Off track.
tangent, but like that's okay. We can do that.
It's your show.
Yes. We will go on to the next one. We'll go on to number 7. Acting too close to your own personality. Now, when you're trying to play a character, you don't want them to sound like you completely.
I mean, you want to add parts of
Yeah.
yourself to be relatable
But
and
it's
play
when
it
it's
better.
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're not like only certain people can play themselves in every movie.
Yeah.
And
Like Chris Pratt. Can I say that?
I don't know. I mean, he does change it, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Parks
Garfield.
and Rec and
Okay, yeah. Well,
and whatever military one he did.
yeah. What was it tomorrow?
There's something the Terminalist. or
Terminalist.
something.
Yeah. That was good. I
That
like
was
that.
so good. See, don't say Chris Pratt. Okay.
Okay.
More like doesn't Terry Crews like he
Oh.
does most of his characters are all
It's
Terry.
Terry. Like most of them. I think
Yeah.
there was one or two that wasn't, but most of them are.
But
just
he's kind of
Terry.
always the macho big guy.
Yeah,
he-
and he's
the
kind of
comedic
some
relief and
silly,
stuff.
yeah, comic relief. sort
Adam
of
Sandler
character.
was so similar for like the longest time, and he's kind
Yeah.
of switched.
Well,
little bit now.
yeah, a lot of his characters were very similar.
Yeah.
Like they used to always make weird noises.
Actually, I
like-
just watched Billy Madison today
Yeah.
again, and I just realized it was just him like acting as stupid as possible in the first half of the film. So I think that would have been so much fun. As from an actor's perspective, that would have been an easy payday.
Yeah, well, when you own the company making
I
the
mean,
film,
Yeah, but like you get to
and
act
you
stupid
get
for
to
a
do
little-
it with all your friends in
Yeah.
every film you do, like that's probably the dream, like
But-
the actor's dream, really.
But yeah, but if you're doing a serious role, serious character, you've done research on the character, don't make them too much like yourself. Try like add parts of yourself, but try and encompass the character. Like do your research.
Go out there and non-creepily people watch. It's
I've
it's
been
good.
told to do that.
No,
before.
it's
Like,
good, and
teachers told me to
it's
do that.
therapeutic as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've not done it much myself.
Yeah.
But like from
He
an
has not.
actor's point of view, I've heard
Legally, he has to say
great. I've heard great reviews from other people.
Yeah. So no, I've had a teacher tell me when studying for a character, like think about how they walk, how they talk, how they dress. And in order to see how different people do that, go out into society and watch people walk, watch people, talk and look at how they dress and stuff like that. Just study people, really.
Busy areas are usually the best. So
Yeah.
in the city or in like a giant public place.
Somewhere you can stare at a bunch of people and no one would.
Yeah,
question you.
basically fly to New York and sit in the city square, basically.
Okay, number 6. Arriving unprepared to act in the scene. That's a big one. That is a big mistake.
Unless you're naturally gifted, you should always prepare.
Yeah, no, do not show up on set being like, oh, I got it down, and you hadn't even opened the script yet. I've met people who have like, I haven't even read the script, and I'm like, I spent 3 weeks learning the script, and I got the script yesterday. Okay.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. That's how
Damn.
committed I was.
That is prep.
I went back in time. No, but like seriously,
And you wouldn't get the role.
Yeah, no.
Like, they get the role. No,
no, but like no, you got to be prepared. Even if you just read it over and over and over again, like a couple of days beforehand, as long as you do some kind of preparation for the character or the script, is very important. If you get naturally gifted, fine, but still read the script.
Yeah, some is better than none.
At least once.
Yeah. Have some knowledge of what character you're reading for, really.
Yeah, I mean, they probably read the audition script.
That's
Maybe.
not enough.
But yeah, so show up prepared to set. Memorize your lines. Know what you're doing.
That's great points.
Number 5, body language. A lot of the time when an actor's doing a scene, they're saying their lines, they're performing well, but their body's stiff. It's not moving.
Usually like mine.
And then they don't use their arms, they don't use their body language. It's all in the face.
One of the people that do body language so well is Andrew Garfield. Like if you watch him in Spider-Man 2,
Yeah.
he's great with body language. Like you don't even have to see his face to understand his emotions and how he's feeling.
I mean, because he's got the mask on the whole time.
Yeah. So like take notes from that. Like if you can, he was throwing his arms around pretty crazily and it looked natural. Like it didn't look silly.
As we were talking about arm movements, I realized I was doing a lot.
Yeah, that's
A
why I
lot.
said much like me still, because I haven't done much arm movements, mainly because my chair makes noise and I'm trying not to make noise, but naturally still I don't make that many movements compared to like you as an actor. You probably make heaps to keep people more interested.
Yeah, well, you got to have, especially for the the master shots, especially for the master, you got to make sure you're doing some movement, because if you're stiff as a stick, there's not much to see.
Yeah.
Like at least some kind of arm movement and stuff, because the close-ups, that's when you can stay still and stuff like that, because you don't want too much sway, because as soon as you move a centimeter, you're out of frame.
Yeah, like people's eyes will wander if it's still for too long.
Yeah.
Like the eyes are attracted to movement, kinetic movement. Like, because usually when if somebody's running in a direction, you usually look to where they're running, right? You don't just like ignore it.
Yeah. Exactly. That's if someone comes into a scene, have a quick, if it's a third character, just like, oh hi, some kind of movement.
Yeah, some sort of thing.
Who are you? Stuff like that. But yeah, body language. Number 4 is breaking character. So it happens, like that's completely fine, breaking character, but it's when you break character, but it could work with the scene. Like it's not a complete break, you could just keep going. That's the one rule I got taught at school, was don't always finish the scene, just keep going. Even if you laugh, make a mistake, just finish the scene. It's when they call cut, that's when you're done. Don't just laugh it off and be like, I'm so sorry, like, can we do that again? Because honestly, sometimes I've been in the room when someone does that and the director's like, that would have been so good. It wasn't even bad.
Always, there's another point. Always continue until you hear cut. Never yell cut yourself or go, can we reshoot that? No, you just keep going. Whoever's directing or whoever's yelling cut, maybe the first AD, you wait until you hear that. Because if they're happy with that mistake you made and it actually looks good on their end, that they'll want you to keep going. If you stop it, you might ruin it.
Yeah. And I think to add on to that, with that, they call cut. So if you finish the scene up to where it's written and they haven't called cut yet, think of something. Do finish with a facial expression or body movement. Add some improvised lines, because you're already at the end of the scene, but they are trying to see if you do anything. That you might get creative with it. Sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit.
That's an old one, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. But sometimes you got to do that, because every now and then there's a gem in there that you just threw out, and they're like, "Did you just think of that?"
Yeah. Some of the best lines in films were improv. just because they either forgot their line or they broke character or they did it on purpose. So like sometimes doing a little improv does improve a scene.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to break character at the same time as don't break character.
But if you're doing it on purpose, maybe get permission from
like,
the first AD or the director if you can do a little improv.
But if you don't want to ask for permission, just
pretend it was an accident.
say you forgot your line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so number 3, not understanding continuity. When an actor is on scene, they get passed a lot of props, cups, drinks, stuff like that. Food is a big one. When you're eating or drinking something or playing with a prop, you need to make sure you understand continuity, because if there's somebody who does continuity, they'll keep an eye on things, but not always. They don't catch everything. There's
but
a lot of stuff
also
going on.
not always, especially when you're starting out, not always somebody will be hired as continuity.
No.
It's usually given to somebody that has 3 or 4 other jobs.
So keep an eye on like how low your drink's getting. Like, is your plate empty? Like, because if they've shot a scene earlier and your plate's full, and now it's almost empty and it's been 3 seconds, like you want to make sure that they know about it. Like, hey, I might need to top up with this grape juice for the wine. Because, you drink a lot on set. Try and do little sips of things, because I see people, like, do a couple big gulps, and then it's almost gone, and they got to fill it up, and we do, like, 10 takes of that. You are so full of grape juice. All right, and then they got to change angle, and now you got to do it again.
Yeah, and also mentioning that continuity, it gives you that little leg up as well to the crew and maybe the director. Like, you're putting that little extra effort in. Hey, I noticed that I had a full glass before and it hasn't been topped up. We're about to shoot again. Could I just get that topped up? I know that that's what it's supposed to be.
Thanks, mate. That was great call.
Yeah, and that will...
Next lead for my
film. That
film.
might go... or maybe not that far, but it might go a long way. Yeah.
You'll be surprised at how much just, like, letting people know about things can be helpful, but don't get too buggy with them. Like, hey, someone left a piece of tape somewhere. It's like, no, that's gaffer tape. It's got to be there.
Yeah, that's not in the shot.
Yeah.
Start listing things. Maybe I'd say just stick to your responsibilities.
Yeah.
So what your things are and what is you're interacting with, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Number 2, wandering off. So when you're on set, a lot of the time, directors, first ADs, they need to know where you are at all times, especially when shooting. You don't want to go for a 5-minute break. They usually bring out the food to you. They usually have a whole table full of food for the actors and crew and stuff, because they don't want you wandering off down the street, and then they realize that they're ready to shoot after the 5 minutes and you're gone and no one can find you, because then they end up shooting 10-15 minutes late and it's your fault. Everyone's back from break, but not you.
If you want to go off to Subway or you want to go off to Red Roost to get something, that's what PAs are for. That's what they're there for.
That's
you go, hey, like, I don't want to, like, because they can not be there and it's not that important. But you, as an actor, even if you're an extra, you need to be present at all times. So if you need to leave at any point, be it just to get something, that's what the PAs are for. You can always ask. Yeah,
and it takes a lot to get used to. I wasn't used to it at first, but yeah, just be confident in asking for something. Like if you need a water or something, like they'll get it for you, because it's actually important you stay on set.
Yeah, and it's their job.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they're there for. So if you're not asking them to do stuff, they're kind of just standing around waiting to be given a job.
All right, and before we get to number 1, I have a bonus mistake that a lot of beginners make, and that is not being subscribed to this channel.
That is a tough one.
I know it's only episode 2, but guys, come on. It's not. It's click that subscribe button, the big red one.
Yeah, it's not that hard, guys. Unless you're colorblind, and then it's probably grey.
And if you want to be extra nice, hit that bell icon.
Yeah, get notified when you get awesome new videos to watch.
Yeah, and thank you to all the listeners, and you guys can just follow either the Spotify or wherever you're listening from. Just follow the account, just for upcoming videos. And anyway, on to number 1. This is one of the biggest mistakes that you never want to make, and that is being late on set. especially when you're an actor. When you're crew, sometimes they'll replace you, and then you're fired. Like actors, same diff, like same situation. Especially if you're an extra, you'll just get replaced. This has happened for like supporting characters as well. I've been on a movie set, like an indie film, and someone was an hour or two late, and they had already been replaced. And they had an audition, they did a script, they had a whole script and everything replaced.
Yep, and if you rock up late still, they will tell you you've been replaced. There's no going back in time and reshooting.
So, number one, do not be late on set because you will probably be fired unless you're the lead. They'll just be mad.
But that's really on you. Like, you're missing out.
It also dampens your future opportunities. But yeah, don't be late on set. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching the second episode of Slate It with Daniel Caddy. I was your host, Daniel Caddy, and this was...
Jordan Alderson.
Yes, thank you very much.
Here as a guest.
He is our featured guest. You'll see a lot of him. Anyway, thank you, and we'll see you in the next episode. If you want to see one of our other episodes, just click the video that will be on screen. Thank you.
See you guys.
See ya.